#12 One Piece theme song. What happened to number 16? I don't know. I'm still waiting for it. Hello, it's Anime here with a little discussion about One Piece. And, you know, for those of you who complain I keep focusing on One Piece, I don't. I do have another video. I haven't uploaded yet because it's a camera video, so it's going to take a while to upload. But it's a Dragon Ball Z video, so it's going to be pretty good. It's actually not even my face, so you guys might enjoy that even more. We'll get to the sword a little later. Anyway, we're going to talk about Logia Devil Fruit type versus Armanent Haki. Now remember, Armanent Haki is the Haki where it makes you hard, like stronger. You can hit those who are Logia. Pretty much Armanent is like the opposite of Logia. Pretty much. And what else? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Logia is like the rarest Devil Fruit. Well, you know, Kizaru himself said that mystical Zoan, that's rare, and that's what Marco has. So, you know, fine. It's the rarest out of the 3 common ones. It's the rarest one. And out of the Hakis, the rarest one is Conquering Haki. Anyway, so yeah, I want to talk about the limits between Armament and Logia. Like, you know, these guys are supposed to counter each other. The only way you can beat a Logia is if you have really good Armament Haki. But what's the limit with that? Like, I know it's not just, you know, learn it and then automatically have it. So now Luffy can probably be a coach by that logic. Maybe. But I feel like it's more than that. It's not just that, you know? Like, well, as Smoker said in the manga, he said, oh, there's levels of Haki. I mean, levels of Armament Haki. He meant Armament usually. And also, there's levels, even there's levels of observation. Like, there's levels of how fast you can predict. Like, Luffy was faster than what the Snake Sisters predicted his moves. So, you know, he did outdo their thingy Haki, their observation Haki. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the limits between Logia and Armament. Now, during the war, okay, Shanks stopped it by how he suddenly came out, boom, blocked it with the sword. See? That's what the sword was for. Anyway, so he blocked the punch. I know many people are just using it as an excuse that automatically, oh, Shanks will probably read a kind. Let's not argue about that. We'll get to that eventually because, oh yeah, good news. The top 10 have been confirmed. I found the top 10 strongest people in One Piece. Now I'm just putting them together. I'm also gonna have honorable mentions. You know, so I hope not a lot of people get disappointed. Okay, because maybe your favorite character will not be in the top 10. I'm telling you right now, Luffy will not be. Just saying. Anyway, so what is truly the limit between Logia and Armament? You know, I'm going to say in my opinion, well, it's not an opinion, I actually have little research. But you guys might have a better proof and say, no, you're wrong. And, you know, I wouldn't mind that. You know what? So my guess is that a person with a strong Armament Haki can punch a Logia user. Well, obviously, that's obvious. But then there's a limit to that. Does that mean, let's say if Akainu and Shanks were to fight, Akainu would throw a magma at Shanks, and then Shanks would give him a punch. Now the punch that he would give him would feel like an actual punch to a human. If someone punched him in the stomach, that's how it would feel. Ow. Well, okay, but then the magma that's being thrown at him, what's the limit? I mean, lava is an extremely hot substance which can pretty much melt you, right? So if Shanks puts Armanent Haki inside him, then could that defend against it? You know? And the punch. Why didn't Shanks just block with his arms? Well, see, based on those clues, I'm going to tell you something. I think Armanent Haki is not as strong as people say, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure Shanks, who has one of the strongest Armament Hakis in the entire show, okay, he chose not to block with his hand because his hand would have get hurt. That was a magma punch, and no matter how strong your Haki is, you feel the heat. Now maybe a normal person were to go to that punch would have melted their arms. But the stronger your Armanent Haki, the less heat you would feel. That's what I'm guessing, and I'm pretty sure it's right. So let's say if you have really strong Armanent Haki, you probably feel a little heat. Weaker Armanent Haki, you feel even more heat. You might actually say, ah, that burns. Okay? And also the fact that I think Haki, Armanent Haki, what the hell? I went off for a second. Okay. Armanent Haki is only good when you use it with another substance. Meaning, Armanent Haki by itself, just your body, is useless. Like, even if it's insanely strong as Shanks and Garps, it's useless. Well, not that useless. Obviously, you'd still, be strong a lot of people, but still. So, meaning, you need Armanent Haki, sure, but you must have an item to use it with. So, a sword would be a great item. Shank's sword is a very basic sword, but it's still made of steel or whatever he's made of. And when you use Armanent Haki with that blade becomes incredibly powerful. Okay? Now, sometimes the sword itself is really strong, like Mihawk's sword and Zoro's Shushi sword. Very strong swords that, like, a dinosaur, dragon stuff on him doesn't break. But Armanent Haki is what gives it that little bit of extra push. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong, Logia types are great. Like, you know what? I think Logia, like, needs the least training with the best results. So, like, maybe in, like, a 5-year training, a Logia user will be really strong, while, like, just the Armanent Haki user will be really strong too. But then a 10-year training, Logia user would have only upped a bit, while the Armanent Haki user would come up a lot. Well, don't say 5 and 10. Maybe it's 2 and 4. Maybe it's whatever. But I'm just saying, Armanent with enough training can pretty much defeat a Logia user. So to answer what's better, Logia or Armanent Haki, I would go with Armanent Haki. You know what? To answer a question between Devil Fruit versus the Haki, I'd go with Haki. Haki honestly seems like such a better thing. But if you want to be quick and strong, like NL doesn't have Haki. He just has just the armor observation Haki. He doesn't have any other Haki. And he became insanely strong. He's one of the really strongest. But then, based on the limit of Haki, so this is the logic I'm using. Limit of Haki. So how strong Haki is will reduce the effects of the Logia Devil Fruit. Now Logias have the power to control nature. And the stronger your Armanent Haki is, the more weaker their attacks on you will be. But then you gotta remember to activate it on time. So, I lost track. I went to so many discussions at once. Okay, back to the Logia versus Armanent. I think the smartest thing to do would have a good Devil Fruit and train your Haki. So, but the problem is you need time to master both. Okay, you can't just do both pretty well. So you need good Haki. So you need to master your Devil Fruit because that's gonna be with you for your life. And Haki, you must go with that as well. So in the argument Haki versus Devil Fruit, I actually want to go in a third party and go with both. Honestly, if I had really strong Haki, like I would like it and I'd train it, but then if I want to beat others, if I truly want to be the world's strongest man, I'd get a Devil Fruit as well. Because I think the combination of those two will give you great results. Forget conquering Haki, just get it. One Devil Fruit, doesn't matter what, doesn't matter if I miss look your Zoan, and train your Haki. Okay? So yeah. And one more thing. Luffy is right now not the strongest, not even 10th. Okay? But I think Luffy has actually one of the best potentials. Okay? Potential. See, everybody has potential, but I think Luffy's potential is higher than everybody else. Because, and this is my opinion, because Haki can beat Devil Fruit, because of that, Luffy has pretty much the best Devil Fruit that goes with Haki. Like, holy crap. This Gomu Gomu Fruit, the fact that his arm can stretch, if he trains his Haki enough, he can use that so well. He can even beat Shanks. See, Shanks, I think, realized that Haki was not enough. That's why he used the sword. Okay, especially with one arm. Come on. So Luffy having it over with like Gongo, that's amazing. You just train on your Haki, and oh my god, Luffy has a potential to beat Shanks and everybody pretty much. Okay, well, Law, we'll talk about that later. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, top 10. It's almost done. It's like I just the order. I have the 10 people, and yeah, that's it. Sorry for the bad ending. Okay, goodbye.